What's up, Aries? How y'all doing? It is time for your weekly check-in. We're going to see what's happening with you guys in the second week of August. August week 2 for my Aries family. Remember, weekly check-ins are just a short, sweet, general, energetic overview. If you are in need of a personal reading, you can find all the information on how to go about doing that in the description of this video. Or you could always just go straight to my website, tarotwithrich.com. All right, let's see what we can tell Aries about their situation and the person they're dealing with in the second week of August, universe. What can we tell Aries? What's going on with Aries in the second week of August, universe? What's happening? Ooh, Queen of Pentacles. Is that you? That feels like you for some strange reason. Four of Swords reversed. Queen of Cups, too, though. So, you got this battle going on. Oh, yeah, Temperance reversed. You got this battle going on between heart and mind, don't you? With the Queen of Cups and the Queen of Pentacles. But then at the same time, you got the Queen of Wands in the reverse. So, battle between heart and mind. Do I let my logical mind or my emotional mind win? You know, and I think that battle is throwing you off balance. It's making you feel a little bit nervous and restless about this situation. And that's just kind of, when it all comes down to it, making you just lose the passion and lose the fire for this whole situation. Because with the Chariot reversed, just doesn't look like things are moving forward. Could be a Cancer for some of you. You kind of are starting to feel like you're wasting your time here. It just looks like a bunch of waiting. What are you waiting on? You waiting on hearing from this person? Is that what's going on? Some of you may just make the decision to say, fuck it, I'm just going to go in hermit mode. You know? But I think there's still a part of you that really, really is waiting to hear from this person or waiting to see if they're going to make some kind of offer, but it doesn't look like anything's happening here. And you're starting to get a little bit impatient. I think what you're trying to do is you're trying to find the switch so you can just flip it off, right? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Well, I mean, there could be, but well, that's a different story. So, yeah, 2 of Wands, 3 of Wands. Looks like it's a boring fucking week. Some of you dealing with a Virgo. Who do I got here? I got Virgo, Sagittarius, Cancer, and Aquarius. Could be anybody. Those are just energies. Let's see how they feel about you. How's this person feel about Aries, universe? They don't know how to approach you or what to say to you exactly. Been giving you the silent treatment. They don't know. If there's one card I don't want to fucking see when I'm looking at somebody's feelings and intentions, it's the 2 of Swords or the 2 of Wands. That gives me such a fucking headache. Well, it doesn't give me a headache because I know exactly what it means. It's trying to translate that into English so that everybody can understand it. I mean, I could just easily say they don't know, but it's deeper than that, you know? When somebody doesn't know how they feel or what they want, it's not just as simple as they don't know. It's deeper than that, you know? It's deeper. But the thing about it is, though, I don't think this person is really even in touch with themselves at that deep of a level. So do I even bother explaining what's going on at the deepest level when they're not even in touch with themselves at that level, you know? They pretty much are feeling like they have no choice but to walk away from this. I think they'd like to talk to you. They just don't know what they want to say. Does that make sense? They want to talk to you. They just don't know what to say. They don't know how to say it. They don't know how to start a conversation with you. That makes sense? All right. Okay. Well, that was fucking quick. Let's grab the advice. What's the advice? Ooh, 3 of Cups reversed. I don't know who needs to hear this, but if there is a third party in the mix, stay away from it. I know that may not be all of you, but that came through. So for those of you inquiring about somebody and you know there's a third party in the mix, stay away from it. Like if they're in a relationship, or maybe you suspect they might be in a relationship, or suspect they might be talking to someone. If you even think that there could be somebody else involved, stay away from it. Ooh, 10 of Cups though. Emperor reverse, King of Swords. Okay. Well, I tell you what. For those of you who just decide that you're going in hermit mode, and I got to be real specific about the way I say this. For those of you who make that decision, the final decision that I'm just staying away from everybody, I'm gonna go into hermit mode. You want to make a final decision. Let me retract that statement. Make a final decision one way or the other. No sitting around and wondering and waiting. Either I'm gonna fucking go for this, or I'm not. No, let's see. No, well, if it happens, it happens. If it don't, it don't. Make a final decision. There's a time and a place for that. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing all the time. But for this type of situation, a final decision needs to be made. And for those of you who are making the decision to go for this, here's what I would do. Nothing wrong with going in hermit mode. I'm not going to say don't do that. I would say, though, that the next time you talk to this person, make it your life's work to make sure that they don't fucking recognize you. That may sound fucking weird. Like, what the hell kind of advice is that? Well, in order, especially those of you dealing with somebody where you fell out, like on bad terms, in order for the two of you to be able to come back and manifest a different outcome, a different energy is going to have to be brought to the table anyways. There's no way to really avoid that. You're going to have to do that anyways. So if you make sure that you evolve into a different version of yourself between now and the next time you and this person talk, one or two things is going to happen in order for the two of you to come together. Either they're going to have to raise up to meet you, or you're going to have to drop back down to meet them. If they raise up to meet you, then the two of you could very successfully pull this off. If you have to drop down to meet them, though, then you're just going to repeat the same cycle. All right. Let's see what's happening with the singles and your love interest. Second week of August. What's happening with Aries, single Aries? And the person you're interested in. Anything good happening? Anything bad happening? Anything happening at all? What's happening? Ooh, we got that Page of Pentacles there, though. Hang on. Hold up. Some of y'all dealing with somebody at the workplace, possibly. Fucking Two of... What is it with the goddamn two? Should I just title this video Two of Swords? I'm not going to do that, but I'm tempted. Two of fucking Swords. Card keeps coming out. So there's just still some kind of wall between the two of you. There's still... Now, I choose the word wall rather than blockage because this feels deliberate. I'm not saying an energetic blockage can't be deliberate, but usually an energetic blockage is something that isn't deliberate, you know? It's just the nature of how our energies came together and the way things unfolded. But this feels deliberate. This kind of feels like this person's keeping you at an arm's distance on purpose. Maybe for some of you, they're nervous about a workplace relationship. I know it's not all of you, but Three of Pentacles reversed is the overall energy. I'm thinking that this person's afraid of a worst case scenario again. You know? Now, why would somebody be afraid of a worst case scenario? Where would they get such an idea? Because it happened in the past. So they're not sure. They're not sure if they want to let you in. They're not sure if they can even trust you with their heart. Let me see. Let me dig them up a little bit deeper. Let me see what their deepest feelings are. Let's see. Are they on some bullshit? Are they playing games? What's going on with this individual, yo? How do they feel about you at the deepest level? Ace of Cups reversed. Doesn't look like they're giving themselves permission to feel too deeply about this. Almost kind of feels like they're fighting it on purpose, you know? Yeah, Devil reversed. They're fighting this on purpose. I don't think this person's a bad person. I do, however, think that they are very immature. Now, this is where it's going to kind of sound a little bit paradoxical. Because they're immature, but they're using a little bit of wisdom here in a weird way. Because I think this person's very immature. I don't think that they're mature enough to really know how to lay a solid foundation, you know? And at some level, they kind of know that. They kind of know that. They know that in order to be with you or anybody else for that matter, it's going to involve really having to step their fucking game up like big time. And that scares the shit out of them. They don't know if they're capable and or ready for that. Because they know that if they gave themselves permission, they would fall so stupid, slap the fucking love with you, that all you'd have to do is wake up in a funny mood one day, snap your fingers, and destroy their whole world. That's probably what happened to them in the fucking past. And I think the thought of putting themselves in a situation where that could possibly happen again scares the ever-loving fuck out of them. I don't think they're a bad person. I don't think so. I think they're a very, very nervous and uncertain person. Okay, advice time. What's the advice for the Aries family with their love interest? What's the advice? What's the advice? Chariot reversed. Ace of Pentacles. Well, I'm going to tell you what. Again, I've been saying this a lot lately. I don't know why this comes through like this, but I'm not going to tell you what and what not to do. But I'll tell you this much. You know what this reminds me of? You ever see them little fucking tanks that you fill up balloons with? And you put the little balloon on the nozzle and you crack the tank and it fills the balloon up? You're like, well, this situation is like a balloon on a helium tank. And it's filling up. And it's filling up. And it's filling up. And it's filling up. and it's filling up, and it's filling up, at some point, somebody gonna have to do something. Either pull that thing off and let it go, or pull it off, tie it up. Something's gonna have to be done, or this is gonna blow. This is gonna blow. Something needs to change here energetically, because this situation is not gonna sit idle for very much longer. I would say, based on this energy right here, see, we're in August right now, so I don't think this would make it to Halloween on the same energetic pathway. With this energy, this energy isn't just gonna go away. If some decision isn't made before Halloween, this is gonna blow. Very spontaneously. Well, it's not technically spontaneous, but from the outside looking in, seemingly spontaneously. Pow! Out of nowhere. Because one, the other, or both of you is starting to feel very tense about this situation. I have a feeling that it's you, but I mean, it's them too, so it might be both of you. Might be both of you. But regardless, there's tension. And tension doesn't just relieve itself. No. Nope. Whatever you allow will persist. So once energy finds a pathway, it keeps going until you make it change. So that's all I'm going to say. I can tell you what I would do if I was you. I would be asking myself, is it appropriate to have the what are we conversation? Is it appropriate for that? That's not always an appropriate conversation to have. But I would say this, if y'all been dating, talking exclusively, especially if y'all done been fucking for longer than a month, to where most people might think that you're together, but you're not, longer than a month, it's about time we have the what are we conversation. At least express your concerns. Put it out there that I'm tired of waiting. I'm wanting to know where this is going. That's what I would do if I was you. And if it's still just a bunch of beating around the bush, then I would be like, all right, nah, I ain't doing this then. Not beating around the bush with you. We're either doing this or we ain't. Hey, maybe some of you might get lucky and this person might let their guard down and y'all could take things to the next level. But action has to be taken towards that first, because if not, this is going to blow, okay? All right, I feel like those were the messages that my Aries family needed to hear, so I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget, information for personal readings is down here in the description, or you could just go straight to my website, tarotwithrich.com. And I'm going to get out of here now, y'all. I wish you love, luck, light, and prosperity on your journey. Stay blessed.